What's up guys, welcome back into the channel. If you are new, thank you for stopping in. Sorry I'm squinting, I'm looking directly into the sun and it's bouncing off the concrete and blinding me. But obviously you can tell we have monster truck in here, if you want to call it that. This truck's in the shop. It's one of my buddies, his name's Cowl, but obviously you can tell it's got some rust. Front fender's got some rust, so we're gonna be replacing that. He got a hold of me, I don't even know how long ago, and asked if I could do it. So he's got two new front fenders we're gonna be color matching, throwing on. So we're gonna get those taken off real quick. We're gonna be doing patchwork back here. We have the inner, I'll call it the archwell, small section here as well that we're gonna be replacing. JD's here to help. He's gonna start buzzing all that stuff off there. Probably throw the GoPro on him, do the chest mount so you obviously get a POV of him taking off the fenders and stuff. But the bed's full of some goodies, front fenders. This truck's gonna be a fun little project, gonna hopefully be a quick little project. We're gonna do an axle dump for him as well. JD will probably do that tomorrow while I'm in town working. That won't be too super difficult just because we're gonna undo that top clamp up there, undo this clamp, gonna use the existing exhaust tip here, and then just slide it on over where the axle, or the exhaust goes over the axle, excuse me. As far as everything else goes, like I said, we're gonna be fixing the rust. We'll be painting the bed sides just to match, because the bed, if you look at it in the right light, it's a little bit darker than what the cab is, and we are just assuming that maybe somebody painted this at some point in time. It had the big bushwhacker fender flares on it. So he assumed that somebody painted it before. I'm gonna just go along with it because it does. In the right light, you can tell that the bed is just a little bit darker than what like the doors and stuff are. So we're gonna get this all taken care of, get it all fixed for him. Get this side. This side's not too terribly bad. It's just bubbling here, then a little there, and then the front fenders. This one's not too terribly bad, but you can see where the bushwhacker mark and stuff was. And then we're also going to be doing the NorCal fender tuck on this to give him a little bit more clearance on these 22s that he's running. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on this, get some music turned on. Like I said, I'll probably throw the GoPro on JD just to kind of give you guys some POV and stuff. But other than that, that's gonna be the build on this truck. Nothing too crazy, but let's get after it.
Across here from the...
Well guys, I was gonna put the GoPro on JD, but it's saying SD card error, so I gotta obviously figure that situation out. But when you're taking these fenders off, I'm just gonna kind of show you where all these bolts are, because I know these trucks are quite common. You have one here, one down there, so there's two. You have three on the very bottom. There's one up in there, if you guys can see it. There's two here where my fingers are. You have one here, then you have one in here, and then that should be everything for this side. And then over here it's basically the same, but other than you have a support bar that goes across and your support bar there on the back. You'll have to undo your lower hinges there as well for the hood, but we'll wait till the very end to do that. We'll get everything else broke free. As you guys can tell, we got the hood off just to make it a little bit easier to see down in here, because on obviously JD's side, you have the battery box bolts you have to take out, the fuse box bolts you have to take out, and they all run through the fuse box into the fender. It's not the opposite direction. My fender's pretty much ready to come off. Everything's loose, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this thing off. I gotta swap batteries here in the camera because this one's about to die. So I'm gonna do that, but here's one last look of what it looks like with the old fender. Then we'll get it yanked off. Brief update, guys. So fenders are off. This side was a little bit more of a pain because, like I said, you have the fuse box and the battery box you have to undo. You have to take off the top of the fuse panel here, just 2 little clips that pull out like so. It pops up, as you can tell, and then there's one up there, lifts up, and there's actually 2, one there and one there, and then you have a side one that holds it to the fender. We got that all taken off. JD is actually scuffing the inside of them right now. The inside of the fenders are going to be bed lined. I already shot the battery trays over here, so they look a lot better. I got to flip this one over yet and hit the other side. I just want them to let them dry, sit out in the sun, kind of bake a little bit. Still have to do that fender. I just pulled off the tip here. We're going to try and get the axle dump today. Axle dump done. Wow, that was I don't know what happened there to me talking, but we're going to undo those clamps up there. Hopefully get it pulled out here, get all this taken care of, and then hopefully tomorrow JD's gonna get here a little earlier and try and get these welds out in here. So it's a lot easier. We're gonna hopefully get all this cut out tomorrow. I'm not sure if I wanna glue them on or weld the skins on. The only downfall to welding is you can warp the panel, so it's gonna be a lot of tacking and stuff and just wait time. So I might glue them on. What I glued a couple of my panels on my truck too, like my older rocker panels, and that was my junior year of high school, and I graduated in 2017, so it's been about 5 years and they're still holding on. So a lot of guys say don't glue, a lot of guys say there's no problem, so I might glue, put a couple screws, tack weld it in a couple corners just to hold it. Like I said, I don't want to get it too hot and we warp the side and then we got bigger problems. So that being said, that fender is off. We're gonna get those sprayed, get those drying so we can throw those on tomorrow on the front. And then we'll just sand them while they're on the truck up here. I was talking to JD and I was like, I'd rather stick them back on. One, if you paint them and then you scrape them, scuff them, whatever, trying to put them on, then you basically have to repaint them. And 2, it's just going to be a lot easier to put them on, tape up the cab, tape up the motor, and paint them that way versus, like I said, painting them off, clear coating them off, and then trying to put them on and not scrape anything. So we're going to continue on. Hopefully JD we'll get this finished up here shortly. And then we're going to hopefully get this sprayed and then he'll move on to the next one. Get that one sprayed and then those are done. And we'll get this thing axle dumped. So we're working on the axle dump here. Had to cut each side of the downpipe. It was a little corroded in there, so we got that on there. JD's tightening it up now. Had to throw a couple washers on there to make sure it doesn't spin, because obviously that other bolt that ran through there on that one clamp was no longer good, because I had to cut it on the tip there. So perfect, it ain't going anywhere. Looks pretty good too, just needs to be cleaned up. So that's done. Fender's drying, we gotta scuff that fender yet. And then I think we're ready to toss them bad boys back on. So hopefully, I don't know, either tonight I might have this side mounted, just because this side's a little bit easier than the driver's side. If I can get this side mounted, then we can get down here tomorrow, get the other side mounted, and then we can start sanding them, get all this stuff taken care of, and hopefully in the next couple days we'll have a lot of this stuff knocked out on this truck. So stay tuned, guys. This should be a fun build. Thank you to JD for coming out and helping. Like I said, hopefully in the next couple days, this thing is pretty much wrapped up, ready for paint, get it painted and get it out of here. So if you guys enjoy this, be sure to stay tuned because I'll probably have a couple more videos coming on it. But anyway, guys, remember, learning as I do, doing I love. I'm the GM man. That's JD. We'll catch you guys next one. Peace.